Well, no, it not doing a bot thing is it doing a bot thing because bots just do that.
That is true. Okay, we're all unmuted now. So.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, I guess the black box still went around my representation.
I think it's fine. What kind of animal is that? I actually can't tell.
It's a custom race, sand waves.
Ah. I like the speaker ears. Okay, so, Simkey, have you actually done a password match in this yet? Because this game handles it really, really weirdly.
I have not done a password match yet.
Okay, so the way it works is whoever is hosting has to put in a password, and then everyone else who wants to join them has to put in the same password. If you put in the same password at the same time as the host, you'll be in 2 separate lobbies.
Oh, that's just weird.
Yeah, like they went the most convoluted route possible to do this. So,
Why would this?
it's Nintendo. Who the fuck knows? They just do shit like this all the time.
It's just something else.
Did you play the Splatoon 3 demo earlier?
No, I didn't.
It has a lobby system and a party system.
Really?
It's actually really, really good. The fact that these 2 games have coming out within like a couple weeks of each other is hilarious, because one has the shittiest fucking friend system I've ever seen, like, recently, and the other one is actually really, really good for a Nintendo game.
Yeah, like an actual lobby and party system? That is unheard of for a Nintendo game.
Yeah, like, Zeno and I, we literally were just dicking around in our own little private lobby, and then we opened it up to random people, and there was one guy who actually stayed with us for a good solid hour and a half.
Like, even Mario Kart 8 doesn't have a proper party system.
No, it doesn't.
It just has lobbies.
It just crashes every now and then too, and you have to be friends with someone, otherwise you can't actually join the lobby. And based on what was happening with Zeno the other day, if someone disconnects, it just kills the connection for everyone else.
Yeah. Like, when you guys were trying to play Mario Party, and it's just how lag.
It was so laggy, I couldn't actually get out of the menu.
Jesus.
I pressed the button, and then no frames passed for 10 seconds.
The new Mario Party is even running off of Nintendo's newer servers, too.
Is it?
I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Or at least there should have been an update.
Rise.
Yeah, I thought it was Rise that was the first one to use Nintendo's new servers.
It was, and I think they released an update for Mario Party, or at least they said they were going to.
Huh. Alright, so are we all ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Zeno, you ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Password.
So the password, now wait for me to say go before you put it in, is 6 9 4 2 0 8 0 0 8 5 69 420 boobs.
Brilliant.
How did I know you were going to use that one?
It is such an easy pass.
Footage.
It's so easy to remember, though.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, lobby is live. Hopefully this works.
Mix up now.
Alright, so you got 2 minutes to join, and there will be an AI taking up the 4th slot. Oh, someone joined. That's Zeno. Oh, you finally got the mint chocolate. I forgot about that. Yeah, I've been working with the grape Adeline thing. Alright. I'm gonna hit confirm if you guys are ready. Also, despite the fact that this game occasionally stutters with the online, I have noticed no input lag. I'm actually impressed.
I think this is, well, hopefully it's running off of Nintendo's new service considering it just came out.
Oh. Oh.
fine.
I mean, I went through a fucking stuttery-ass match and still came out in first. Oh, this is a nice throwback. Oh my god. Oh, I did get... No, wait, no, I didn't. Mother... God, this... I wasn't expecting the Green Greens remix as the first song. God, this takes me back.
I've got my audio turned down so my mic doesn't pick it up.
See, that is the one advantage of having OBS, is that I have the audio going through OBS. Like, when I'm in a call with someone, if I'm not even streaming, I still use OBS so I can at least hear the game. Say ya, suckers. Ooh, tornado. By the way, Senki, fun fact, my brother cannot stand the smell or taste of strawberries. I literally have to restrain myself from eating strawberries, and I'm in third. No, I'm actually not. I'm in fourth. What the fuck? I took the shortcut. What the hell?
How the hell did the AI get ahead of you?
I don't know. I didn't even see him pass me.
The Susie AI.
Oh my god. I actually haven't played Planet Robobot, by the way. I don't even own it. I really need to get it. Okay. You stay the fuck away from me. That's what I've been told. I'm actually way behind on 3DS collecting. I haven't actually used my 3DS in a while. My 3DS is having some button issues. The R button doesn't work half the time, and the X button and the B button fuck up a lot.
I thought it was just the B button.
Oh. B more than X, but sometimes it is the X button.
Which model of 3DS do you have?
The red new 3DS XL. You motherfucker. Oh! Oh, you have a sickle! Yeah, I've been tempted to replace my 3DS, but if I use an air can... Okay. If I use an air can, it temporarily fixes it. Oh, that didn't work out. Yeah, like as I was trying to say earlier, I have to physically restrain myself when I eat strawberries, because if I don't, I will literally eat until I get sick.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, the thing is, I love strawberries so much. They're my favorite fruit. But I will literally get sick if I don't restrain myself. Oh! Oh! God, I was in third that whole time. It's fine. I am just impressed that there is no input lag at all. It's...
Yeah. This is very surprising. Especially considering what Smash Ultimate's online.
Oh god.
Yo, you stay the hell away from me. No! Okay. Uh-oh. No. 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 No! Have you seen all the different images of people at a grocery store and it says use tongues instead of tongs? Oh! Oh my god, I got grabbed again. Full wipeout. Ow. I was being bounced into the air by the Susie AI.
Oh, God.
Man, I wonder who is this?
Actually kind of close.
Oh, that actually was. Xeno was
geez,
9 points
yeah.
behind me. Also, you still get the online bonus when you're playing in a password lobby.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. That's how Xeno and I were trying to get him to get to the mint chocolate, since that's the one he wanted most. Ready for more?
Yep.
Also, I see Soro has joined the stream.
It's funny to play the robot that Ness is a copy ability.
Oh yeah, the ESP ability.
Yeah.
Matching wait a moment.
Kirby.
What's your favorite Kirby game?
Apparently I was the host.
That's
Okay then.
weird.
Superstar Ultra is my favorite, but it's also a lot of nostalgia for that.
That is a good one.
Crunchy.
My favorite is Amazing Mirror, and I would actually put Forgotten Land right below Amazing Mirror.
Top 3 is Superstar Ultra, then Robobot, and Forgotten Land.
Top 3 for me is Amazing Mirror, Forgotten Land, and Crystal Shards.
I've only really played Amazing Mirror, Nightmare in Dreamland, and then Kirby or Right.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, okay.
back.
Oh wow, it fixes itself really quickly. Oh, that is crunchy.
Oh. Oh, okay. I like the brief moments of normalcy that just gives us false hope.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Nintendo servers.
We had no issues in Splatoon earlier. I don't understand how Nintendo cannot get it right all the time. Oh, wait, I've actually got lag. Like, actual input lag.
I'm not doing anything. Oh god.
Oh, I screwed that up.
Very, very slight delay. But it is actually enough that
It is more than slight for me. Well, it was fine before.
I jump. I don't remember seeing this ability before.
I don't think I've ever
It's
gotten
like
it.
a gummy worm.
High jump is given to you if you're exceeding the bar play. It's pretty much the equivalent of the catch-up ability in most of these games.
Okay, well, I seem to be the only one with lag, and I'm somehow in first.
Oh, I definitely have.
Alright, it's kind of... Actually, as a matter of fact, it's also fine for me. Okay, well, I just gave you that.
Was it just that one race?
It might be due to
Oh, never mind. You had to say something, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, once I get the spare cables I want to get, I will probably do some kind of Kirby marathon towards the end of the year, since it is Kirby's 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
Because I really want to stream Amazing Mirror. I also haven't actually done a playthrough of Amazing Mirror in several years.
Isn't Metroid's 35th?
I thought it already passed, actually.
Oh, no.
Oh, you know, I think I'm thinking of Metroid Prime's 20. That
should.
actually
Maybe we'll get some news on Prime 4.
Oh
Oh,
no!
I hope.
I really hope so.
If you try Trilogy on Switch as well,
Cheese.
Cheese!
Yeah, why we haven't seen anything from Prime 4, considering they completely deleted all progress that they had made on it and gave it back to Retro.
I'm so glad they gave it back.
Fuck! The funny thing is, we're... Okay, well, not getting that shortcut, I guess. The funny thing is, we should actually be hearing something about it soon. It's been long enough that I feel like, assuming they're not in development hell, they should be near the end of development.
They should have something.
I mean, we actually saw Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
They were announced around the same time, I think.
I'm fairly confident we'll see something at like the beginning of this. That would
Can't
be a
wait.
good time to show that.
Can't wait for Jeff Kiley to shill for Fortnite for 2 hours straight.
It's gonna be fun.
My favorite part about the Game Awards was when he vaguely mentioned the ActiBliz situation. Said, we need to hold game developers accountable. Anyway, here's this Ubisoft game.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh god. You like it this one?
Oh god.
Huh? What? No! Oh, no, I don't like Ubisoft. They also have been kind of sort of covering up sexual abuse from higher-ups. Yeah, every single executive who was accused, they've been shifted around to the subsidiaries rather than being part of the main company. It's really frustrating. Oh, I almost went right into the tongs. How am I in third?
Or the one that why that Kirby is calling.
Okay, wait. Oh! Oh god, we're in overtime. Oh, no! That was in first. I was in first.
I still can't believe
Oh.
that we're able to make Kirby rounder.
I am shocked they managed to make him rounder than he already was.
Oh, that was close.
That is very close. Kirby Planet Robobot Memorial Song 2.
I wish they put an Amazing Mirror on something modern so it can actually have online play.
Oh god, that would be amazing. I'm gonna hit play again.
I think you can do online through emulation, maybe?
I think I tried that years ago with a form of Visual Boy Advance and found out it was only local net play, not actual online. They may have changed. I mean, there's probably a way of getting it to work with actual net play. Based on that leak from a few months ago, they may actually, may have a GBA emulator planned, considering the,
Well, they totally made their own.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposedly with that build, they were testing a Game Boy app that would have allowed you to connect the Pokemon Game Boy games to the Nintendo 64 app for Pokemon Stadium. But Motherfucker! I kinda hope we do see something from that, because I would very much like Game Boy Advance games on Switch. And actually, yeah, Amazing Mirror is one of the main reasons why I'd want that, because I never got to actually play the multiplayer.
Oh, if they ever add GameCube, pair that with online.
Oh my god.
Well, third again.
For the NPC to somehow get ahead of you.
Oh, wow. He only has 26. Whoa, Kabua.
Oh yeah, Star Allies character. Completely forget that game exists half the time.
God. Okay, so pretty much every single Kirby game I've played, like every mainline one, I have 100%ed. It's just a thing I do with the franchise. One of the few that I haven't was Star Allies. Star Allies was so goddamn boring.
Yeah, the graphics were pretty good, and I like the copy of it. Everything else is just boring.
Being able to control other Kirby characters like Adeline and DeRoche was pretty cool, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really enough to save the game for me.
Yeah, no. Also, no online.
And that. Well, Forgotten Land doesn't have online either, but it's such a phenomenal game that it doesn't really matter in the long run.
Like, at least if Star Allies had one, maybe something before we go back to it.
Yeah. Speaking of Kirby games, though, I was actually planning on picking up 2 Wii games that I've been meaning to get for well over a decade, and one of them is Kirby's Return to Dreamland, because I have been wanting to get that for years, and I just never got it. I was thinking of getting Zack and Wiki along with it. It is essentially a point-and-click on the Wii made by Capcom that nobody played, but it's supposed to be really, really, really good. I remember Nintendo Power gushing about it. Because I didn't have an Xbox 360 or a PS3 when I was a kid, so I just had a Wii. I'm way behind because I keep getting stuck. So I was subscribed to Nintendo Power, and I was just ravenous for information on Wii games because I didn't have the same consoles as everyone else, so I wanted the more interesting stuff. And that's how I found out about Mad World and the Klonoa remake and all that stuff.
Mad World.
Mad World is my favorite Wii game. It is really, really good.
The AI got me.
Yeah, you just got me too.
And me. Oh my god.
The AI was going on the script.
Oh no, get it, Rick. Oh no.
We can actually hurt people with jelly.
Finally, I got the AI. I was trying so hard there. But you actually can hurt them?
Yeah, when at the ending when you stop,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I accidentally found that out. 'Cause I hit
Oh my god, dude! What is this AI doing?
Oh god.
There we go, Jesus. Alright, Vocabula is pissing me the fuck out. Or fuck off. Fourth? Wait a minute. Fourth? How did I... What?
the AI.
Oh god.
Who is it?
Hey.
God, that's actually a significant lead. Oh yeah, Kirby Triple Deluxe. I actually like Triple Deluxe. I enjoyed it.
Deluxe too. That's one of my favorite Kirby soundtracks.
I haven't played it in a long while because I haven't been using my 3DS, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
So, what I would call like inoffensive. It's not groundbreaking for the series, but it's fun for what it is. Oh, I'm finally the host again.
Yeah, I think whoever hits play again first there just becomes the host.
Seems that.
God, I want this food so badly.
can to get the Kirby food.
Got it. Oh, right, I can plus A. Whoops. My sole reason for going to any country or state is to visit the food. I mean, get the food. And visit the food. I want to spend time with the food. Get to know it first. This is a race, Spike. Go move first. Don't dilly-dally. Almost use my real name there.
Oh, that was an enemy.
Why did you slip into an accent when you said that?
Fuck you.
When I was reading Telma's lines in Twilight Princess, I kept slipping into a southern accent when I wasn't trying to.
Plays the southern character, man.
I mean, it fits, but it wasn't what I was trying to do. Fair and balanced.
No!
Why did you jump? I think that actually slowed you down.
I'm trying to do the little trick that's end of the ramp right there. And
Oh.
I jumped late.
Oh my god.
Stuck in the chocolate.
Can I actually get some strawberries, please? Thank you.
Oh god, I'm pinballing. Oh god.
Get pinball.
I'm stuck between boxes.
Are you a deaf, dumb, and blind kid?
I understood that.
Chocolate fountain. I've never had anything from the chocolate fountain before. Yeah, I'm not actually one for sweets anymore. But I'll probably be more interested in sweets if it wasn't like fucking American sweets. Because American sweets are too sweet. I mean, I've had Mexican candy because my brother-in-law is Mexican. And oh my god, it is so much better than any of the shit we have here.
Yeah. Candy from the UK.
I've had Japanese candy as well, and it's also really good. Motherfucker! Alright, never mind then. I see that invincibility candy. You stay the fuck away from me. No! Alright, fine.
Do you have a Kirby's pinball game?
I do. I have a physical copy of it, actually. I haven't played it in a long while, though. No, 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 no. Ah! I'm alive! I'm alive!
Straight for it. Oh god, not spikes. Oh, you have spikes. Oh, no, no!
God damn it, I missed. Fucking... Like, actually lag, though. Oh god. No. God.
Oh, needle is deadly.
Oh, wait for me.
That wasn't even the Kirby I wanted to get.
No.
Oh, that Kirby has 3 spikes.
You turned into a southern woman for a very brief moment there. No, not in the Gordo! I got bounced into the Gordo. Oh my god, there's so many spikes. No, not the Gordo!
Chaos.
Oh my god, that was so chaotic. There's so many spikes.
I want the ones that have stone in it because it's literally just everyone trying to jump to get away from stone constantly.
Oh, yeah. Stone is
I like how stone is just a bar of chocolate. Simki, you didn't even get any of the bonuses.
I really do feel like that sometimes.
Yeah, it was kind of...
Oh, Susie. Susie's cute, but I think she's actually a villain.
Yeah. Well, no. Spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Robobot's story.
All I can say about Planet Robot Stories, it actually gets extremely dark for some reason.
It's actually unusual for a Kirby game. Because, I mean, Kirby games, you do end up usually fighting some kind of eldritch abomination, but it never really gets dark. So, I do know Star Allies' story is actually a little dark if you know the lore. But unfortunately, the game really isn't interesting enough for that to matter. God, I was so disappointed with Star Allies. I paid $60 for it. It's also, like, really short.
Another, like, 3-4 years to go in that game. Like, yeah, it's amazing. But still can't keep away from Kirby games for a long time.
Yep. Also, speaking of GameCube games coming to Switch, I request Kirby Air Ride and Mario Party 5, and that is all I will ever ask for. I actually have a friend who says Mario Party 5 is the worst one, and he and I get into arguments about it all the time. It's like the best one. Okay, just eat all those fucking strawberries, I guess.
I can make an argument for like 7, maybe.
I have every mainline Mario Party from 1 through 8, plus Super, Superstars, and DS. And I personally think that 5 is the best, and 4 is ungodly boring.
I mean, obviously GTA spin-off.
I've seen Alpharad's video of that game. It is so weird.
I don't know why it exists.
It doesn't even have multiplayer.
Yeah. Actually, have you seen Mario Party?
Is that the e-reader one? I've heard of it, but until you mentioned it, I completely forgot it even existed.
I don't get what sometimes.
Yeah, from what you've told me, your game collection actually rivals mine. You've got a lot of really cool, obscure stuff, too. I mean, like, my collection isn't even all that big compared to people like Angry Video Game Nerd or other content creators, but I mean, I have more games than anyone I personally know, aside from you. I started seriously collecting in around 2010, 2011, so I'm a bit late to the party.
I think Mike started majorly collecting in 2016.
I mean, I already had a lot of games, but I wasn't really getting a lot. The collection that I have, I built up over time, just because, you know, Grandma got me a lot of games as a kid. And then I sold like 10% of my collection because it was all shit like Donald Duck going quackers. Oh, am I actually in first for once? I actually have the holy trinity of shitty N64 games.
Oh yeah, you're telling me there's a Blues Brothers 2000, Superman.
Soro is asking which game was that. What were you referring to, Soro? I'm not really paying attention to Twitch chat right now, and I apologize. Oh god, we got stoned.
Okay. Oh no.
Ow. Uh-oh. Oh, God. I rolled over the chocolate without it slowing me down somehow. Motherfucker. I wasn't paying attention to what the placement was like. Okay, so I'm in second at the moment. Okay, well, I think Xeno definitely won.
Yeah. I picked up the fourth.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say Nitro Rad, I said Alpha Rad. That was Mario Party Advance. I've never actually watched Nitro Rad.
Never even heard of Nitro Red.
I think he's another one of those Nintendo YouTubers.
Not Nintendo specifically.
What was that?
No, Nintendo specifically.
Yeah. Alright, so I see Simkey, but not Xeno. Oh, there he is. Zoro is saying I should check out Nitro Road because he covers unheard of games. That sounds in my alley.
Space Station Silicon Valley, in the N64.
I've actually heard of that. It is one of the N64 one of the few N64 games that I'm missing. I actually have pretty much every N64 game that I want. It's my favorite console.
Space Station is kind of expensive, I think.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's been coming off from it.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a physical copy, like in person, it was like $70 for condition.
Ooh. Yeah, the rarest N64 game I have currently is Chameleon Twist 2, which I've actually had since I was a kid. And it's complete, but, well, okay, it's kind of complete. It doesn't have the manual.
Rarest I have is like, I think well, double the 760 was down the camera. I got a complete box copy of Wipeout condition.
I have Wipeout 64, but it's not complete. It's just the cartridge. My rarest game is probably Salata Robo, though, all things considered.
I got you, Jim.
I think Chameleon Twist 2 is actually harder to find, but Salata Robo is worth more.
We'll go through and double check or what some of the games we have were. Because I'm assuming Cordelka and Valkyrie Profile have shot up like the price again.
Yeah, and, I'm sure Simkey and I can go on all day about rare and obscure games from a variety of consoles.
I have the Master System set.
I want a Master System. Which one, though? Sonic 1 or 2?
Sonic is actually games on the Master System.
I know Sonic Blast is one of them. I don't know what the other two would be.
Sonic, Triple Trouble, Spinball.
They actually ported Triple Trouble to the Master System. I like Triple Trouble. I didn't like Sonic 1 or 2 on the Game Gear, but I liked Triple Trouble.
Sonic 1 on the Master System is so much better than the Game Gear version.
I'll have to keep that in mind whenever I get around to getting the Master System.
I prefer the Master System version over the Genesis version. Sonic 1.
I don't actually like the Genesis version of Sonic 1, so I will have to try that out.
I consider the Genesis version actually bad.
I actually think a lot of Sonic games are really bad and people just don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
Despise every Sonic game. They just despise Sonic as a character.
You liked Sonic Rush when we were younger.
Yeah, that's true. I probably wouldn't like it now,
I've
though. Music's still good.
Well, yeah, because it's Hideki Naganuma. You know what? I'm actually going to come out in last at this point, so I don't even care anymore.
If you do get a Master System, get a US served one, but make sure you try and look for games in the UK. They're way cheaper.
Is it region free?
Yeah. Besides Japan, because they had a completely different system.
Right. In Japan, it was the Sega Mark III. I don't know if you knew this, Zeno, but the Master System was Sega's third console, not first.
Really?
Yeah, they had the Mark I and Mark II first. We got the Mark III as the Master System.
There isn't actually a Mark II. It's the SG-1001 and the SG-1000.
Oh, okay.
Technically, your Master System is Sega's second console. If you don't have the SG-1000.
Ah, okay. And then I must have gotten confused. Memory again.
I have an SG-1000 too.
Of course you do.
It's pretty neat. I would recommend buying it, but it's not much.
Can I please move?
Yeah, like, Sonic Genesis, they're
Oh my god.
in the US is $200 loose, and a complete unbox version in Europe is $20.
Man. Well, this lag was not here the last few times I was playing this online. So I blame one of you guys. Coming first. I don't know. Zeno, will you get the fuck up? Okay. I hate all of you. I couldn't do anything!
Just come over there with fire.
Yeah, the most obscure console I own is the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I only own like 2 or 3 games for it.
So, cookie stick.
What was that? It's pretty cool. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're a diehard SNK fan, but it does have a Sonic game that has never been ported. Sonic Pocket Adventure.
Really weird Sonic game that's on there for some reason.
Yeah, it's a remix of different Sonic games from what I remember. I don't own it.
You know the Tiger Gamecom?
Oh my god, have you seen the original reveal for it, or commercial?
Yeah.
With the little person at a gaming convention?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, the Gamecom has a port of Sonic Jam on it for some reason.
Oh, it also has that fucking Fighters Megamix and Duke Nukem 3D and Resident Evil.
It's like, why are these here?
Also, why Sonic Jam? There's already 2D Sonics. Why would you
And
put a
it's not even
3D?
proper Sonic Jam. It's literally a greatest hit, like a crap greatest hits compilation of stages.
But yeah,
You go from Green Hill Zone to Chemical Plant.
for those who are not aware of the commercial that I'm talking about, look up the Tiger Gamecom commercial. It is a video game commercial that I think about a lot. Because it is literally a little person at a gaming convention yelling at gamers, calling them morons, and demanding they ask questions about the new game console, the Gamecom. It is so weird.
That's how you decide to advertise this glorified Tiger LCD game.
I also like the Dr. Mario NES and Game Boy commercial. It has actual gameplay from the game on screen for a grand total of 2 seconds. The rest of it is just the Witch Doctor music video.
All, like, I get why they did that, but why did they use it? Also, I am not stuck under the freaking bridge.
Oh, I've been there before.
No! Come on, holy shit!
Another ad that I don't think I ever played for Xeno is the Japanese Zelda 1 ad that has a dance routine in it for some reason.
The Zelda, the weird Zelda dance routine, yeah.
That's...
One year on the Zelda Dungeon Marathon, one of the incentives was to watch that.
Yeah, like...
Everyone had to stop what they were doing. I think it was in the middle of the Twilight Princess run. They had to stop and then watch that video.
Dungeon Zelda 1's ads were awful. Like, the dance routine's kind of neat, but the American Zelda rap.
Oh god, I had forgotten about that until you said it. God. I also like the Pokemon ad. I don't remember what game it was for. I think it was for Gold and Silver. That had the dude in the school bus just crushing the Pokemon in it and turning them into a Game Boy.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you showing that.
Xeno, you keep that fire pepper far away from me.
That one actually should have been for... yeah, that one should have been for Yellow, actually.
It may have been for Yellow. I don't remember. I think I actually saw that ad as a kid, by the way.
At least have some strawberries.
No.
Full energy. 29 strawberries. Also, I'm only just now seeing the message. Sorrow says one of the games Nitro Rad covered was Tonic Trouble. We do. I have been wanting to play through it, and I might actually stream it for my first full run of the game. It was actually, essentially, a glorified beta for Rayman 2. I love it. It's very weird, but in a good way. That is true. One of the bosses early on in the game is a sentient piece of corn, or corn on the cob, who is trying to kill the player for perceived crimes against vegetables, and every time you refight him, it's a different member of the corn's family, telling you that you killed his, like, cousin or brother or father or something. When you beat him, he falls into a pit of lava and turns into popcorn.
I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're okay, no. Never mind. Oh, you bitch! You did it. I knew you were gonna fucking do it.
I actually wanted to save it for the Battle Royale, but I was worried you would pass me. Also, one last weird video game ad. The fucking e-reader ad for the GBA era in the US, with Donkey Kong Jr. getting fucking flattened. Again, I saw that one as a kid. I actually remember seeing that when it originally aired, and I was thinking to myself, what the fuck? Why are, like, American video game ads always so sexually charged or just so, like, violent?
You ever seen the Gamer's Pocket, which was it's like more fun than a ferret in underpants?
Oh god, I have seen it. There was one ad for a Rayman game, I don't remember which one, that was a bunch of guys pissing in front of urinals, and Rayman is pissing with them.
Do you remember what the tagline was?
What?
Something with similar vein.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, God.
That was for Rayman 3.
I love Rayman 3. I actually think it's better than Rayman 2.
Is Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Hoodlum Havoc. I love Rayman 3. I actually think it's one of the best GameCube platformers. I have it on GameCube. I think it was also on PS2 and Xbox. And then I got the HD remaster, which I never played.
Yeah, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PS3, 360. You may have put a mobile or info port. I know there's a Java phone port of it.
A what?
Flip phone games.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
Forgot those were even a thing.
Play,
There's like a
2D side-scroller God of War.
whole aspect of gaming that is just lost to time.
I've emulated a few games from them. They're weird.
God, I really need to play Rayman 3 again. I haven't played it in so long. Oh, I'm the host, okay. Sorrow says... Oh, actually, yeah, I might. Sorrow says, games I never heard of before Nitro Rad, Tonic Trouble, Voodoo Vince, Scalar, One Shot, Toilet in Wonderland, Ghost Giant, Under the Skin, Cat World, and a few different horror games. I actually have seen Scalar in a video rental store before, and a friend of mine, it's one of her favorite games. I don't know what the others are.
Scalar is one of those weird, like, edgy Sonic, like, load games that somehow managed to get made way late.
I see. Oh, Simkey, have you played Rocket Knight? I think we had this conversation already.
I haven't played out of chance played the original, I played the 360 version, which, like previously in chat, is really slow.
Yeah, the original Rocket Knight is my favorite Genesis game. I fucking love it.
I knew that you put on something.
I am praying it comes to Switch Online.
Because the 360 version is not good.
The ball's in Konami's court, unfortunately.
Konami ain't doing shit.
I can't wait for the inevitable pachinko machine.
Oh god. One finger of the monkey's paw curls. Oh, prior to like a month ago, Zeno didn't even know what the monkey's paw was. I didn't know it was actually part of Tales of the Arabian Nights. I thought it was its own thing. But I know about the monkey paw because of Billy and Mandy, because of course Billy and Mandy would reference the monkey's paw. Oh my god, Zeno. I do not like that AI's name. His name is Lickety.
I do not like that.
Why is it
I hate the fact that the most recent Castlevania releases, besides the collections, have been a pachinko machine and a gacha game on phones.
They made a gotcha. Oh man, why?
And you know what's the worst thing about it is they released an entire trailer of showing off all these classic Castlevania characters, like playing in classic Castlevania gameplay, and at the end it's free to play iOS and Android.
It's like the, I think it's either a prequel or sequel to Octopath Traveler, which I freaking love that game. Was a mobile game.
The sequel to Fantasy Life and the third Ni no Kuni game are mobile games.
Oh yeah, Ni no Kuni as well.
Yeah, it's also a blockchain game.
Yep. That's hell.
Oh, you didn't know it was a blockchain game?
Why?
Yeah, doesn't it hurt? Also, nobody hates Konami more than Castlevania fans, and Silent Hill fans, and Metal Gear fans. Basically, no one hates Konami more than people who like Konami's games.
No one, like, anyone who's a fan of anything Konami does not hates Konami.
Also, I actually agree with Sorrow. I kind of do hope Konami gets bought because their IPs really need to be in someone better's hands. I don't want it to be Sony, though, because I would like to play Castlevania on Nintendo again.
Plus, Sony's not the best company or
I don't know if I've actually told you why I hate Sony so much, but I have a lot of reasons for hating Sony. Them shuttering Japan Studio is the main one. I will probably never forgive them for that, because most of their Japan Studio games were the reasons why I liked Sony in the first place. Japan Studio, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper, and Wipeout. I just got a communication error.
Yeah, the moment you said you got a communication error, it lagged away.
Fuck
We know
you.
who's lagging then.
Okay, well, let
I
me...
can bully you now.
What'd you say?
That means I can bully you.
Okay, well, I'm kind of stuck out of the lobby now, so I guess I get to wait for you guys to finish.
Oh, wait, is that you? Are you on the island?
I'm back on the home table.
Oh.
Yeah, I got booted. I got a network error.
Fucking stone.
Alright, well, I guess everyone just gets to watch me roll around the home table.
Mm-hmm. So I think probably one of my favorite things about Konami is the last game in all of their franchises is usually crap.
Well, you know what they've been doing, right? They've been outsourcing all their games to random Western studios. They don't have any internal teams anymore.
Yeah, what was the last Silent Hill Downfall?
I believe it was Book of Memories, actually.
Not counting the weird PS Vita game.
It was either Downpour or Homecoming, and different people have told me that one of them is the worst.
It should be Downfall.
Sorrow, that exclamation part, that is the credits.
Both Castlevania reboots that were like 3D action games are pretty bad.
That would be
Both
Lords of
Trilogy.
Shadow.
Yeah, Lords of Shadow.
The new Contra game is apparently a travesty. I've heard it is really, really bad.
Came out 2019 and it looks like a game from 2001.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling people that
Tile charts.
they literally will outsource games to a studio that is not equipped to handle the IP. They've been consistently doing that for years.
Like the Silent Hill games, like Downpour, Homecoming, all the modern ones, like you can tell they just threw it out of the US studio and were like, make a game. And they're like, okay, we'll just do the tropes people like, just pyramid head and sexy nurses.
We got the lobby open. See if we can put the password on.
Alright, I'll try. I mean, I should be able to join through that.
You should be able to, yeah.
And Silent Hill 2 and 3 HD, have you heard about those?
Comic Sans. I actually own all 4 of the original Silent Hill games on PS1 and PS2.
Lucky. Which are expensive as hell now. I want to get them, but you know, dropping $200 on the original Xbox game is a bit much.
Okay.
Don't even get me started on some PS1 games.
Yeah, I mean, I own all 3 of the DS Castlevania games. I got Portrait of Ruin several years ago, so it was fairly cheap, but the other 2 were like $120 each. They were I got them as special occasions.
While we were talking about some game prices, I looked up Codelca and the Xenosaga trilogy to check to see how their prices have changed. Codelca is anywhere between $100 to $700.
Jesus.
It's $20 for a Japanese copy. And for the Xenosaga trilogy, episode 1 is still only around $20. I'm surprised it went back down. Episode 2 is anywhere between $20 and $120. And episode 3 is pretty much anywhere between I got episode 3 for $75.
And the only
It's now almost $300 to $400.
The only reason why... Oh, God. Okay, Simki, you did this to us, just so you know. That was entirely your fault. The only reason why we even own any of the Xenosaga games was because several years ago, I was at a Second in Charles, I saw the first one for $10 on PS2, and I thought, this is a Monolith Soft game. Xeno likes Monolith Soft. I'm going to get it for him. He might like it.
Monolith.
Yeah, they made, before Xenoblade, they made Xenosaga and Baten Kaitos.
And Xenogears.
Technically, yeah. Oh, we have Xenogears too.
Like anything other than Xenoblade.
If you play Xenogears, you will see where every single story element from Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3, because it's all in Xenoblade.
Xenogears is very good. I haven't played it, but I watched Xeno play a significant portion of it.
It's so good. It's also so different. Disc 2 blew me away. Xenoblade 3 is pretty much just a retelling in Xenoblade's universe, of course.
Also, Sorrow. Contra Road Core is not the last Konami game developed, because it wasn't even made by Konami, but they did actually put out another remaster from an indie studio after that, and Super Bomberman R Online, which I think everyone forgot existed.
I think there was a Bomberman R2 recently or something.
Super Bomberman R2, I believe, is actually an Apple Arcade game.
Of course it's Apple Arcade.
Yeah, of course it is. Like, I have never seen a game company consistently make the wrong decisions every single time without a hint of irony or criticism. It's like they are immune to what people are saying.
There's this company that's been on it.
They literally are like, there's nothing you can do to us that we haven't already done to ourselves. Oh, that took a while. Zoro says Super Bomberman R2 is yet to come out. I could have sworn it came out for Apple Arcade, or was announced for it or something.
Yeah. There's no one that has games.
What was that?
Netflix has games.
They're mobile games, and from what I know, they have not been doing well.
The most recent statistic coming out says 1% of users have actually interacted with the games.
Well, fuck Netflix. Okay. Shout out to Warner Brothers Discovery trying to save $3 billion by cutting IPs and whatnot, and they ended up losing $20 billion instead. I'm just enjoying watching all these huge companies speedrun their own oblivion.
Oh yeah, it's really fun.
God damn it. How did I go through that? Oh god, overtime. I always panic when we go into overtime. Yeah, I wasn't dodging that.
I don't actually know how to read or speak Japanese, but I import a lot from Japan just because the price difference.
My whole reason for taking a Japanese class during my first attempt at college was so that way I could get Cancer Dragoon Saga for $30 instead of $1,000. Oh, I won.
Yeah. That was close.
That was really close.
Just to make it hurt, let's see what Cancer Dragoon Saga is at right now.
I really didn't want to ask, but I am curious. That game.
What the fuck? There's copies that are only up for 800.
That's cheap for that game.
I like how you had to correct it for that game. God.
It's like anywhere between 800 to 1700.
Jesus. That's not the most expensive Saturn game.
Really?
It isn't?
You want to know what the most expensive Saturn game is?
What?
Complete in-box copies of Daytona USA Online going for $15,000.
There was a Daytona USA online. I didn't know that.
It's that online thing, but Daytona USA online only sold about, I think, 200 copies.
Jesus.
So yeah, $15,000. If you have that drop, you get the rare Sega Saturn game release.
I didn't mean to mash through that. It fucking lagged. It lagged out for the first A button prompt, but didn't for the second, so I just mashed through it on accident. You good?
Oh my god, the lag made me miss. No.
I actually have a Saturn, but I only have like 3 or 4 Saturn games. One of them is Panzer Dragoon 2, which I'm very happy that I own because it did go up in price. I only have US copies for the Saturn. Oh, I had a...
I'd recommend buying an action replay for it.
There was a... Oh my god, I fell at the bottom. There was a cartridge I wanted to get... Oh my god, I got hit by the AI! No! I was right at the top!
Gabe just said stay down.
Yeah, I have... There's a cartridge that I wanted to get for the Saturn that was a memory card, a RAM expander, and a region bypasser, or region lock bypasser. I never got around to actually getting it, though.
Yeah, I have one thing about the way the memory card works, though, is you can't actually load it off of the action replay. You have to transfer it back to the Saturn.
Okay, well that's a bit of a problem because my Saturn doesn't actually save data. It just deletes it when it powers off.
Open up that little backpatch on the Saturn and you can replace the battery yourself with one side of it.
Yeah, I kind of figured, because I think it's actually just a regular watch battery or something. I just haven't done it yet.
It's a chargeable watch battery, but it's one of the few consoles that actually lets you change the battery instead of forcing you to solder.
Speaking of consoles and stuff, I think my original Xbox is actually modded. I have about 20 original Xbox games, maybe a little more than that. And they all have save data on the console, and it still says there is a higher number than it can display for the megabytes.
But it says it's original hard drives. That just might be on the BIOS or something.
Well, I have yet to run out of room, according to the damn thing. I even have some CDs burned onto it.
I bought that Xbox for like $50.
I got my original Xbox for $15 because I got it from a Goodwill.
Yeah, there was a used game shop.
Open, but it's just okay.
There was a used game shop that we used to go to a lot. They've unfortunately closed down a few years ago. But that is actually how I got my start in game collecting, was that shop. They also showed us how to clean cartridges and how to clean consoles. And on one of the last days the shop was open, when I walked in, I heard one of the cashiers say, as he saw me walk in, you know, anyone who's been coming to the shop for longer than I've worked here is like royalty to me.
That shop is where I got Valkyrie Profile, and they gave me a loyalty discount of some sort on the game. And Valkyrie Profile goes from like 3 to 400 at the moment, and at the time, and they sold it to me for like $100.
Yeah, one thing that I really loved about them is if you were trying to buy a game they had multiple copies of, say a loose version and a boxed version, there were a few times I was trying to buy a boxed version of a game, and they would tell me, hey, you know, we have a loose copy that's cheaper if you want it. God damn it. Yeah, I really missed them. That's where I got Skies of Arcadia, that's where I got Star Ocean, the second story. That's where I got 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I believe you did. That's also where we got Metroid Fusion. I believe that's where I got Eternal Darkness as well. Like, a good portion of the games that I love, I got from it. My copy of Eternal Darkness is signed by Jennifer Hale, who voiced Alexandria. Yeah.
A copy of Metroid Prime Triple Two, the Steelbook on Wii, is signed by Jennifer Hale, which she voices Alex.
I've also got a copy of Fire Emblem Awakening signed by Laura Bailey, who voiced Lucina.
I've got a copy of Nier, or Nier, I don't know how it's actively 360, signed by Laura Bailey and Liam O'Brien.
There was
I'm like collecting voice actor signatures.
a convention that voice actors come to every now and then.
I mean, I know Nier on 360 is really good, but
It actually got rarer after Nier Automata.
Yeah, because people were like, hey, Nier, hey, there's a game on 360?
and I still say Gestalt is better than Replicant. Fuck the remake. Do not like the remake.
Like, I'm sure the remake is good, it's just that I don't really vibe with the remake story.
I gotta bug out for a moment because I gotta go put cover on one of the birds. I will be right back.
Alright, if you don't mind just waiting for him to come back, then.
Yeah, I think it's just down in the lobby.
Yeah, 'cause he'll only be a moment.
Depends on if Bandit tries to pull the damn cover and cage again.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you have pet birds, it's good to have a cover, like a pillowcase or something like that, to throw over the cage, because birds get spooked very easily when they can't see, and most birds don't have good night vision, so when you have a cover over them in the dark, they aren't likely to get spooked by anything moving. It also is useful if you want birds to be quiet, because if the light goes down in the room they're in, they think, oh, it's getting dark, I should start getting ready to rest.
You know, well, back to say battery stuff. You know the Philips CDI?
I wish I didn't, but yes.
So it has a save battery. Said save battery is integral for the system to actually turn on for some reason.
Okay.
Save battery is in an internal chip that the only way to get to it is to drill through the chip slowly to make sure you don't damage it.
The Nokia N-Gauge, to change the game, you have to remove the battery.
Oh yeah, because it's underneath the cover.
Yeah.
I just think the CDI is pretty bad, because if you do the process of sawing off the top of that chip incorrectly, you break the system permanently.
I mean, it is the CDI, so it's like programming for a DVD player.
The only interesting thing about that system is you can send emails on it. And it has some bad Nintendo games for some reason.
It is written, only Link can stop oh, we're starting!
Uh-oh.
I did nothing, I forgot there was a timer.
Yeah.
It is written, only Link can stop Ganon and save Korodai. Great! I'll grab my stuff! I just love the ending of the first one, where Link rescues Zelda, and Zelda just goes, what happened? I just rescued you from Ganon, Zelda. You did not!
Second one is cutscenes.
Have you seen I Am Mean for Sega CD? It was animated by the same company as those games.
Oh, I have not seen that.
I'll have to send you the video later. Oh, I should have saved that, Jelly. I Am Mean opens with a musical number.
I cannot imagine that being an animation studio.
It's actually surprisingly catchy. Funny thing is, I Am Mean was actually praised for its animation. For some reason.
Considering who did it.
It's literally not any better, too.
There you go. I'm back.
We were waiting for you in the lobby, but I forgot there was a timer, so it just kind of started.
Oh, then, I had to chastise Bandit because he tried to pull my finger in case recovery.
Bandit. Bandit was, chilling in the bathroom sink earlier. He was just floofing.
Oh yeah, there was actually supposed to be 2 Mario games in the CDI, but the second one
I have...
actually, unfortunately got cancelled because it's actually shaking up people.
Yeah, I have seen what little footage exists of it because a build was actually found several years ago. I actually kind of wish that it came out.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was Super Mario World, but around the world.
Yeah. Like from what the leaked gameplay has shown, it actually was going to be a pretty solid platformer. But it got cancelled because Nintendo's like, no, we don't trust you anymore with anything, and they no longer trust any properties.
I mean, to be fair, I do understand entirely, considering what happened. Sorrow says, I Am Mean is referenced by Rules card in Deltarune. I will have to look that up later, because I do not remember that reference.
Nintendo owns 2 NSFW videos.
Yeah, Super Hornio Brothers. They bought the rights, so that way they would never be distributed again.
I just think it's funny they own 2 NSFW videos officially.
It's fucking hilarious. That just reminded me, this has nothing to do with video games at all. But, when Jake Long American Dragon, the creator of the show, was at a furry convention, because he apparently was invited to a furry convention, he, was asked what he thought of the fact that his show was very popular with porn artists, and he said that, when he was originally pitching the show to Disney, one of the executives came up to him with a binder full of Kim Possible porn and told him, this will happen to your show. I almost got pushed into that stone.
That also just implies that a Disney exec has a binder full of impossible porn.
Yeah, that's the other part about that.
I'm going to judge it.
Fucking hell! Also, Sorrow is right. They Nintendo either did or still does own Love Hotels. There was a streamer that Zeno and I were watching. It's Silvervale. She occasionally does streams with a guy who lives in Japan. I think his name is Rob.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, Rob was showing a hospital-themed Love Hotel to Silver. And I don't know if he called his wife while he was doing it, or if his wife called him, but they started talking, and he told her, oh yeah, I'm showing Silver the hospital Love Hotel, and she goes, you know you're supposed to take me there, right? Oh boy, one of the Star Allies sisters. Yay.
Costume.
Oh yeah, I'm level 91. Okay, Zeno, I have just hit play again, so the lobby should be open if you want to try to rejoin.
There you go. I am trying to join you now.
Oh, there you are. You actually got back in before Senki.
I was changing my costume there.
I figured.
I'm sticking with the mint chocolate because I fucking love mint chocolate.
This is supposed to be like Guy Kirby, but he just looks like his eye is dead. Like he's passed away. He has been deceased. Kirby passed away.
Now, I've heard that
Fucking dead.
if you have the right genes, you either like mint and hate cilantro, or like cilantro and hate mint. Xeno...
Whichever one you hate will taste like soap to you.
Yeah, Xeno got the short end of the stick because he likes both, but he's allergic to cilantro.
And because I'm allergic to cilantro, that means I'm also allergic to coriander. And coriander is used in a lot of curries and used in gyros and a lot of Greek food and Middle Eastern food. And I love Greek, Middle Eastern, and North African food.
Our sister has it worse. She's allergic to MSG. She can't eat, like, anything that's prepackaged because it'll just fuck her up. Oh, hell yeah, this song.
Hey.
I'm not allergic to anything food-related, but I am allergic to dust, and this house is always dusty. So I'm just permanently congested. Oh my god, I got stuck in my own goop. Oh my god. No, no, no. Okay.
I'm sitting there with an unfinished cake because of the fucking lag. I thought Kirby finished eating it, so I put my controller down. Fuck.
About enough so I can get food, because I think I pick up Yucca.
Oh, good luck. Being a chef is very, very stressful.
Our brother-in-law was or still is a chef. I don't actually know if he quit being a chef.
I think he did.
Can I please get some strawberries?
He also started his own mushroom restaurant that I think has been earning him more money because he sells the mushrooms at like farmers markets and to shops that he once worked with. So he's basically become a food supplier.
That's fine.
And I'm no chef myself, but I love food.
I love it.
That's actually why I apparently became one of Puffin's friends on her server, because... Yeah, well, I mean, she accepted my Discord friend request that I just sent her because I thought, you know what, might as well. And she's even said that she always looks forward to my food pics because, you know, we live in Chicago, so we got all the great restaurants here. And it's funny, like, everyone I become friends with, I bond with them more over food than video games. Food is like a universal love. I know exactly one single person who doesn't like food. You guys doing okay?
There's just bouncing into each other on a chase wheel and neither of us get through.
Alright, I'll just go on ahead. You guys just catch up.
Oh god, hi. Nope, nope,
Hi.
nope,
God damn it. Yeah, like, I know one guy who, whenever I sent him food pics, he would actually complain about the food because there were, like, too many vegetables or something. You motherfucker!
Wait, what? Too many vegetables? Huh?
I sent him a picture of a burger once, and he complained because he saw lettuce and onions and cheese.
Alrighty then.
You know what he likes on his burger? Ketchup. And nothing else. I've been forgetting to use the emotes. Oh, hell yeah, gourmet race. Ooh. Ooh, we lagging. Oh, the lag is really bad for me. Oh, wait, no, never mind. It's fine. You know, this is not Kirby's Pinball Land. I do not want to play pinball right now.
Oh, that's a lot of stone.
Oh, speaking of burgers, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got different. Yeah.
Oh, God, please stop. Cease.
I'm actually impressed that that came out when it did.
Yeah, I was also spamming R.
Oh no! 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 No!
Turn around.
I was fucking mashing the B button trying to. Oh, God damn it! Well, I actually didn't want. All right. No! How fucking lag?
Yes.
5,
5.
4,
Oh, it's 4.
3, 2, 1. I don't even care anymore.
God, stone makes it so fucking hectic.
I hate the carrot. It's so hard to actually hit someone with it.
It really is.
Man, I like how in both Kirby games, Drill's been in just the most happy ability.
Oh yeah, it was definitely one of my least favorites from Forgotten Land.
It's just too little damage for how much you have to do for it.
It had some interesting puzzles. That's about it.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite copy abilities in the entire Kirby series is the fucking fridge ability from Kirby 64. It's completely useless, but it's funny.
It is very funny.
Because the food actually damages enemies when it flies out. Or you can heal yourself with it.
You know what's really weird is I just learned Ball in Adventure is actually good. It can do a shitload of damage if you use it properly.
I hate that ability.
So, like, yeah, it's the one of my least favorite abilities in any Kirby game, but the fact that it actually can genuinely kill easily.
I think a lot of people forget that Mini was a... Can I please press A? There we go.
Oh yeah, Mini.
Yeah, Mini, I think it was Amazing Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one... It's one of my least favorite copy abilities just because it is obnoxious to actually use.
You have to do so much with it for some reason. It was either Mini, it was either Mirror or Sweet Spot, it was on flagship games.
Yeah, it was one of those. I like Squeak Squad. I haven't really played it since I beat it many, many years ago, but I did like it. We were on a road trip to visit our aunt in Arizona, and I 100%ed the game on the road trip. From start to finish.
I like Squeak Spot, but that was my main issue, it was short as hell.
Yeah, I was surprised by how short it was when I played it.
When I bought my DS again, because I had a DSi, sold it when I was a kid, and I wanted to get another DS. I bought Squeak Spot, and I finished Squeak Spot in like 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, I literally played it from start to finish in one single sitting, and it was during a road trip, so it's short.
Granted, it was 2 days long, but still.
That is true, and I don't remember which day I started it. Because I think it was actually day 2.
I think it was. Which would have been the longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best thing about Squeak Spot is Darroch.
He is good. I liked the ghost ability. I thought that was really cool.
It was a cool idea.
Squeak Spot where you could mix abilities together to like create new ones.
That is Kirby 64, but Squeak Squad did let you throw elements on some abilities.
That's what I was thinking of that one.
Yeah, I think it was cutter, sword, and bombs. You can give them the elements of ice, fire, and electricity. Or spark. With wheel. Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, wheel's pretty useless with it though.
I don't think I ever tried it with wheel.
Kirby, Squad also has another one of the most worthless abilities in the franchise, the Steel.
Oh yeah, it was literally rock, but worse. Because it was somehow slower.
Its one benefit is you are completely invincible.
God, I should play Skate Squad again. I really should use my handheld consoles more, because I haven't really been using them recently. Okay. Okay, you know what? I actually deserve that.
Hell yeah, you fucking did it. Fuck off.
I really hope someday the GameCube canceled Kirby trilogy gets released.
I want that one platformer. Some new footage actually got found of it.
Oh damn! Nice.
Yeah, I posted
that
it.
was the one that ended up getting converted into Star Allies.
By the way, speaking of DS games, Simki, are you familiar with Clubhouse games? Did you know there was a DS game first?
Yeah, we actually had that when it came out.
Oh. Yeah, I actually bought it recently just because I was curious, because I never played it. I didn't even... Well, no, I knew about it before the Switch one, but I had never had it. I had first heard about it when it came to the DSiWare shop. Okay, well, out of the frying pan and literally into the fire.
Clubhouse game stream win.
We actually have streamed Clubhouse games already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we should, yeah. The one problem with it is there's no lobby system, so there's no way to have spectators in-game, so we either have to cycle out players with someone just watching the stream, or we have to stick to the 3-player or 4-player games. And again, if it had a lobby system, it'd be fucking perfect.
I hope they do
A sequel to Clubhouse games?
I wish. I hope.
Oh, I went into the Gordo in the last second. Yeah, I really like Clubhouse games because I love board games.
Clubhouse games was fun. If you ever do any other online game streams, feel free to invite me. I pretty much have everything you guys play.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know for the next one we plan. Let's see. Next week is the 2nd. After that is, oh no, it's not the 2nd. Hold on. It's the 3rd. I don't have anything planned for next Saturday, so I'm open to suggestions. Francisca Frost.
And you know me,
Yeah, the other... I am open, kind of, to streaming Monster Hunter. The thing is, I'm self-conscious about my gameplay, and I am not really the best Monster Hunter player, so I really don't want that recorded.
And I'm not the best either. I need to get back into Rise.
Sunbreak is...
Zeno and I have been playing Sunbreak recently. You know what? I actually wouldn't mind doing Clubhouse games again next week. I can talk to Dennis about that.
Yeah, if you do Clubhouse games.
On the 10th, I'll probably stream Splatoon 3. Because we've all got it pre-ordered.
What are you streaming? You cut out.
Splatoon 3.
Oh, yeah. I'm also getting that game.
Oh yeah, I should probably pre-order that.
Yeah, I was really originally not super enthusiastic about it because it was kind of just a might as well get it kind of thing. One of the last direct featuring the game. Excuse me. Oh, fucking loud. Actually made it look interesting. Oh my god! And then the Splatfest demo made me super excited.
Get to look at Big Man.
Oh yeah, I love Big Man. I love Stingrays, so.
Man's great.
Big Man.
This is Big Man's Stan account. So.
Converting you to a Big Man stand account.
I actually have a Stingray plush that's pretty big that is the same color as Big Man.
I guess when we were in Vegas.
Yes, it was from Mandalay Bay, from the aquarium. I really don't like that I hear the sound effects of Kirby eating the cake, and all I can think of is that one vine that's like, that's what good pussy sounds like. Followed by a woman yelling in Hebrew. I think it was Hebrew.
Either Hebrew or... And if it was either of those, and it was like Urdu or another language from the Middle East, then correct me. I honestly don't know the difference. Oh my god, these fuckers stop jumping!
Completing my third collection of a copy of a Superstar Stacker because the price actually went down.
That's actually on the Switch Online if you have a Japanese account. I didn't even know it was a thing. I knew about the first Star Stacker.
That was the schoolhouse.
That's true. I'm actually surprised they added Kirby's Avalanche. I love that game because of how fucking out of character the dialogue is.
It is so fucking weird.
Like, watch out for my bombs, Kirby. I will inhale your pathetic bombs and throw them back at you.
Yeah.
Wait, were you quoting it too? I didn't even hear you.
Kirby's Avalanche is so fucking weird that it exists.
Did one or both of you take the shortcut and skill Kirby?
Yes.
I was one fucking point away.
Why is this AI named Kyle? Who is Kyle?
For energy and drywall.
Who is Kyle?
Oh god.
Oh, there's lag. Get away from me. There's an awkward zombie comic about Animal Crossing characters that this just reminds me of, and it's like, so you're named Freya, right? You're Apollo. You're named after gods. So why are you Kevin? That's what my mom named me. But why? Yeah, that wasn't actually a good point to use Tornado, but it saved me from the flames, so that's all I care about. Oh my god, there's more! It appears I burst into flames. You deserve that, I'm not even sorry.
Oh, hi, Kyle.
Yeah. Good luck.
Simki, have you heard of Tattoo Assassins? It is a Mortal Kombat ripoff. It is so fucking weird. They literally, it's from Data East, and it never actually came out in arcades because right before it was going to be put into production, like, to be released, there was a flood in the warehouse that destroyed most of the machines. And it had such poor reviews from playtesters that they decided not to release it, but some of the arcade boards made it out into the wild. The playable characters include a white Native American named Billy Two Moons, a figure skater based off of that one woman from that tabloid story where to prevent another figure skater from winning the championship, she hired a guy to club her in the kneecaps. There is a trucker, just a regular trucker, a guitarist named Derek. He doesn't have a fancy name, it's just Derek.
Why are you named Derek?
And I don't remember the rest of the cast, but there is a Sub-Zero ripoff played by the guy who played Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat, and that is the entire reason Sub-Zero is not in Mortal Kombat 3. Because he was fired.
Amazing.
The game is not very good. There are fatalities in the game, including nudalities, where the characters are naked. They're covered up.
Also, of course.
But one of the figure skater's fatalities is her pushing her opponent into a Zamboni. Some of the fatalities don't work correctly, so that Zamboni one kills the opponent without ever actually touching them because it's on the wrong side of the screen.
So just a Zamboni shows up and the person just drops dead for some reason.
Yeah, and blood comes out of the Zamboni even though it's not touching anything.
A brilliant game. Needs a remaster right now.
Yeah, I actually kind of wish it would come to consoles because I've heard it is very much something that everyone should experience. It is not good, but everyone needs to play it.
Yeah.
There are probably several videos you can watch on it. I know Classic Game Room actually reviewed one of the arcade machines back when they were still making videos. Oh, this is some lag right here.
I don't think they're interested in the person causing that.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Oh, as soon I had to say something.
You had to say something. The moment I could say.
My game literally froze for a moment there.
Hey! I just jumped off because of the lag.
I pressed R game.
Is this actually running off Nintendo servers or is this weird?
Oh, this lag is actually really, really terrible. Holy shit.
I'm assuming this is peer-to-peer then, because it switches hosts every time and I'm the host.
You guys just want to call it quits after this. No, this lag is actually really bad. I don't think I'll be able to do much after this. I'm afraid I'm gonna. Oh god, I can't even get back up. I feel like I'm just gonna like crash at any moment.
Yeah. Switch over to a Mario Kart stream again.
Well, I mean, I always have Mario Kart with me because it's just a good backup.
I think I still have Monster Hunter on my Switch. So I'd have to swap games, but I think that means Xenoblade 3 is still in Monster Hunter's case at the moment.
Bro.
Hey, it's not like we're gonna be playing Xenoblade 3 anytime soon.
No, I still need to finish the first two. That's a lot of bombs.
It's so close to the end. I also have a feeling I know what's going to happen in the ending, and I am not ready for that. Because that game already fucked me up.
You might want to look into what the GameCube things.
What was that?
Oh, have you seen the Eon GameCube HD adapter?
I probably haven't forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a thing that actually like, fully upscales GameCube games to 1080p.
I will have to look into that. I will actually be getting replacement cables for... Oh my god, and I was also mashing R. I will be getting extra cable so I can stream from the GameCube properly. Now,
If you use an actual GameCube, I'd recommend a Yacht because it makes everything look way nicer, and also you can make full screen.
I will definitely.
No, though they are expensive. They're like $120.
Ugh.
It is worth it for the price because the GameCube games are pretty good.
I'm a bit late on seeing messages from Sorrow because I'm just not really looking at Twitch chat. She's saying Big Man is called that because he's a manta ray. He's Big Manta.
Oh my god, they had to work upon it.
Also, something about Wu-Tang Shaolin style being what Tattoo Assassins turned into. I'm not aware of what that game is, but I actually don't think Tattoo Assassins became anything.
No, Wu-Tang Clan, the game, whatever, was the whole name? Wu-Tang Shadow Assassins, yeah.
Shaolin style.
Shaolin style was originally going to be a different game, but I'm forgetting the name of right now. But for some reason, the SRB decided to rate the game A.
For adults?
Even though there was no nudity or sexual content or anything like that, they just decided that it was going to be rated A for adults. So they took that game's framework and just tossed the Wu-Tang Clan into it and called it dead.
Interesting.
Really bad.
If I could actually hit someone with spikes! Yeah, I'm only aware of 2 games that were rated adults only purely for violence and not for nudity. And they are Hatred, which really isn't worth talking about other than that, and Manhunt 2, which did come out censored on consoles. But you can play it uncensored on PC. Yeah, like, it wasn't even usable in the game, technically. You had to mod it in. And from what I remember, it's actually really tame.
It's tame. It's not even anything, like, it's sexual. Well, it is sexual, but they don't have nude models. Yeah, that game, it's not even violent. The reason it got rated A is because you could cut limbs off, which, of course, was new at the time, because this is a PS1 game. Kirby just said rated A.
Well, I mean, looking back, a lot of games that were controversial for their violence are actually really tame now. Like Mortal Kombat. Like, even the PS2 era Mortal Kombat games are fairly tame. Laughably tame, actually.
Also, the Wu-Tang Clan game came with the controller. Have you know the Wu-Tang Clan's emblem?
No, actually, I'm not familiar with the Wu-Tang Clan all that much. Did I just say clan?
The controller is in the shape of their emblem.
Oh dear.
I do just send you a picture of this. It sends.
Alright, do you guys want to keep playing this? Do you want to swap to Mario Kart or just call it here?
I'd be down to swap to Mario Kart.
Alright.
Fine, swap them.
Yeah. I didn't think the lag would be that bad. Wu-Tang Shaolin style was original. Thrill Kill! I know that game.
Thrill Kill. Yeah, that was its name.
Yeah, I actually thought that came out under that name. What the fuck is that controller? Hold on, I'm sending this to Zeno so he can see it.
That is the Wu-Tang Clan controller.
Oh my god.
Abomination.
What the fuck?
Alright, let me, edit my category real quick.
I gotta go grab the Mario Kart from upstairs, and I'm also gonna go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
No, yeah.
Alright. It gives me a moment to swap games.
What the hell is that controller? Oh my god.
Yeah, I would put it up on stream so people can see what we're talking about, but that's a little more effort than I want to put into this. But, I mean, Simkey has to grab the game, so that'll probably take him a moment, so... Give me a moment, and I will just put it up. Of course, my laptop is fucking slow. That is a massive image.
I'd like to point out, for me, you were cutting out every other word there.
So, everyone who wants to see it, this is the controller. The Wu-Tang Clan controller. It is in the shape of their fucking emblem. Some people sell it for like $200. That's disturbing. What the fuck is wrong with my left shoulder blade?
Hey, that's the price of the Xenoblade 2 Switch Pro controller, I believe, at the moment. Oh no, price actually went down. Okay.
Let's go.
There we go.
Alright, well, I just opened the lobby.
Which one of these cases is me?
Ooh, my laptop's running kind of hot right now.
There it is.
Alright, there's Xeno.
This is the last case I checked.
Well, whenever you can't find something, it's always in the last place you look.
Yeah, I have like 4 different Switch game cases.
Alright, I'm just checking my news feeds while I wait. And I am once again getting followed by fucking artist bots on Twitter. I've just been blocking every single one of them. Pro tip, if you want me to commission you, don't make me message you privately to find your details on your commission prices. You better have a fucking sheet I can look at somewhere, because I am not messaging you first to find it out.
Yeah, wait, what?
There are a lot of bots on Twitter who pretend to be artists for streamers. And the way you can tell that they're bots is they use way too many tags. Their art styles are never consistent. They have more they are following more people than they have followers, like far more people. And they always will tell you to DM them for commission prices.
Huh. Yeah, normally DMing people for commission prices is not standard practice anywhere.
No, and it's usually a sign that they're fake, because no normal person would tell you to do that. They would have a sheet posted somewhere. Alright, so when you guys are ready, it'll be 150cc, frantic items, and hard AI.
Alright.
Is-
I'm ready.
Alright, because that is what I set it to. I like frantic items, because it makes the game super chaotic. There was one time, years ago, I was playing Mario Kart Wii, we had frantic items turned on, I was playing with Xeno and our sister, and I got a blue shell in second place. So I thought, oh, that's funny, I'm going to throw it. I throw it, I get to first place, it goes straight up and then straight back down. I wish we had recorded it, because I don't think anyone would believe me.
There was so much shit like that happened.
It literally went straight up in the air and then straight back down. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Zeno, what happened?
What?
You careened straight into a wall.
Not on my end.
Okay, Nintendo. I'm assuming SimKey is the second Rosalina. Oh, I need to find it again, but I saw this one animated video of a guy and some little fairy girl. I don't actually know what the context is for the character, but she asks him, hey, out of the 4 main Mario girls, which one do you think is the best? And he goes, Peach fans are the most basic of bitches, Daisy fans are the same but louder, Rosalina fans are disgusting coomers, so anyone with the slightest amount of taste would pick Pauline. And she says, okay, fine, we get it, you're a Rosalina fan. He says, I didn't say that, and next to the wall is a bunch of Rosalina posters. And, like, I felt that. I'm very attacked. I mean, Rosalina is the whole reason I came out as gender fluid, because I just thought, haha, I'm gonna pick the pretty space princess. I'm like, oh, she's kind of fun. Uh-oh.
Okay, who put that banana there?
Actually, it was not me for once. Why is the Link AI ahead of us? It's the equivalent of putting the whoopee cushion just before you sit down. Okay, I was trying to throw that behind me, but whatever. Oh, ba-bomb! Okay, never mind.
I just got hit by my own fucking...
You know, I didn't realize how you were supposed to pronounce ba-bombs, or that it was a joke until I heard it pronounced in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Because I always, as a kid, I pronounced it bomb-on because I was fucking stupid. And then I watched the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, Bowser throws a bomb, and he goes, it's a ba-bomb! And I'm like, oh god damn it.
I knew how to pronounce that. It's little bomb-oms.
That's what I did. I feel like everyone did that. Because nobody knows how to read as a kid.
Oh god.
I am so happy they brought this course back.
It's such a good course.
This track sucks for inside drifting. If you don't have, like, ridiculously high handling.
Oh, fucking yawns. What Sorrow just said in chat just reminded me of that one fucking video. It's like, Luigi, it's 4 p.m. Time for your pegging session. Let's fucking go! I was trailing very close to that.
I saw it. It was like the Mario 64 episode. So long you gave Bowser, and Bowser like, Luigi, I thought we weren't gonna tell anyone.
I've never seen that. I have to look that up. Oh my god, I actually started crying a little bit from that. Yeah, Sorrow just mentioned Bowsette. The guy who drew Bowsette got really scared of all the attention he got, by the way. Yeah, because he just did it as a joke, and then he woke up to like a million fucking notifications of everyone retweeting it and drawing fan art.
What have I done?
Like literally. I remember that. That was a wild time on Twitter. The pinball. I mean, another one. I'm good.
Oh, pinball.
I got hit by a pinball, pushed into the bumper, bounced off the bumper, and I got hit by the other ball. Are you good, Zeno? Why Luigi isn't last? This is his track.
What's he doing back there? It is the pinball track.
Yes, Sorrow, I did get hit by both balls in the face. Thank you very much for pointing that out. I should do another pinball stream. I kind of want to wait on doing the pinball stream until the new Pinball Effects is out. So I actually have some new tables.
That is not for everything. Find a bunch of weird shit that's out there.
Oh god, I'd rather not.
Do a trash pinball stream.
I would love to just stream bad games at some point. I don't have many bad games in my collection anymore because I sold a lot of them. But like, had I known that I would become a streamer, I would have kept a lot of them. We only rented it. I don't think we ever bought it. But you know, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee for GameCube, PS2, or GameCube and Xbox. Yeah, it got a sequel on PS2.
We did actually own that for a while.
Okay, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we sold it because it was shit.
Yeah, it was voted one of the worst games of the year it came out. The game has an automatic lock-on that you can't disable or control, and in fact, it will sometimes lock on to your partner instead of the enemy, and there's nothing you can do to change it.
What?
Yeah. It was impossible to play through the single player.
Oh my god.
And it had so much potential because they had so many characters. And they had fucking Ultraman in it. No, not Ultraman, Jaguar Man or whatever his name is. Yeah, it had him in it.
The first one's actually really good. I like the first one.
It's literally the best Godzilla game ever made. It's what
There's not much competition there.
I know there isn't. It's what I refer to as an accidentally good game because it's nothing but a shameless cash grab, but it's actually really fucking good. My other two favorite examples of that are Shrek Super Slam and Lego Racers because neither of them deserve to be as good as they are.
Okay, you were cutting out for like every other fucking word there. At least
Shrek Super Slam and something racers.
Lego Racers.
Oh, Lego.
Yeah, neither of those games deserve to be as good as they are.
the time when Celtics, like, I think we were building a desk
It was a desk.
bedroom, and we turned on, or I think I turned on the Lego Racers music, and had like a 30-minute version of it that had blasted from my phone while we were playing.
That was actually me, and that's probably the best joke I've ever made in my entire life.
Not that shit.
Lego Racers is unironically one of the best racing games of its time, and the sequel is a wet fucking fart.
Like, how did this happen?
Also, Shrek Super Slam is like genuinely one of the most fun. I swear to God, if you drop that bomb, I'm gonna die. But Shrek Super Slam is like unironically one of the best 3D multiplayer fighting games I've ever played. It has wave dashing, basically. It even has a competitive scene. There's a tier list.
Of course it does.
Yeah, Red Riding Hood is banned.
Like, oh Oh yeah, banned. Okay, I knew she was broken. I had forgotten she's banned.
She's literally banned in tournaments.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah, because the game has the characters from the first two movies, including Big Bad Wolf, who's referred to as just Wolf. It has the Cyclops and Captain Hook, who you only see for like 2 scenes in the first 2 films. It's got Donkey's children called Dronky. There is a unicorn named Anthrax.
Anthrax. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, is playable. Humpty Dumpty is playable. A garden gnome named Genome is playable. And rather than bringing over Monsieur Hood from that one scene in the first film, they literally just created Robin Hood. Like, it is actually genuinely a great game, and I would actually highly recommend you get it for GameCube, because it's like $10, and it is, you'll more than get your money's worth out of it. Especially if you have friends that will be willing to play it with you. I've just got Xeno, unfortunately, because I don't think anyone else would actually agree to it. But I didn't mean to say unfortunately like that, by the way. It just kind of slipped out. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant.
Obliterate him.
I don't know why that's the word that came to mind, but I didn't even mean to say it. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry for that, though. You know what, Blue Shell? I actually am sorry. Can I be forgiven? Oh my god. I know I'm fine. Okay.
So because of that, I didn't bounce off the mushroom and activate the glider. I just bounced off the mushroom because I was still in the animation of getting hit, and I just freaking went off the slide.
I got hit right when I bounced, so I lost all of my momentum when I was gliding and just fucking dropped.
Everything just got blown up.
That thing is fucking terrifying.
I see people like, when are we gonna do Mario Party or Kart? But I think I'm like an improvement, or like a new gimmick they could add.
Honestly, I would literally just want a Mario Kart 8 too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's basically what we're getting with this DLC pack.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, I mean, we got Coconut Mall and Mushroom Gorge, and those are my 2 most requested tracks. So, I don't care what the rest of the tracks are. I got the 2 ones I wanted the most. Alright, ready for more?
Alrighty. After this next set, I'll have to bug out so I can go cover up the birds.
Yeah, we put a cover on Bandit at around like 8:30. So that way he can start getting calmer, so he'll actually go to bed when we cover him up. He gets excited when he sees people. He's a very good bird, but he's also really dumb.
Yeah, our other bird, Peaches, he'll just complain and get really mad if anyone is talking near his cage at night, because he just wants to go the fuck to sleep.
Like, cease.
So he'll just start, like, muttering to himself, complaining, like, throwing a little mini tantrum.
By the way,
Perpetual 2-year-old.
what that sounds like is...
Yeah, he'll just kind of go he's doing that. And he's kind of they're just telling us to basically fuck off.
Like, leave now.
Yeah, whereas Bandit, when Xeno covers him up, he'll like lean in close and go, "Who's a good Scritches boy? Good boy, Bandit Scritches?" He basically just runs through his whole vocabulary. I love birds. Bandit's actually, I'd call him dumb, but Bandit's actually pretty smart. When my dad took him into the bathroom, he pointed to the mirror and said, "Who's that?" Bandit looks at the mirror and says, "Good boy, Bandit." Alright, I have a slight issue. I feel something loose in my nose, and I can't do anything about it now, so I have to sit through 4 fucking tracks trying not to sneeze.
Oh
I fucking hate it. Oh god, I hate it.
Now you know my favorite type of performances.
Oh, you just...
Entire fucking song. That's all I need to do.
Zeno used to perform in a Japanese taiko group.
My profile picture just from one of our stage shows that we did. Yeah, unfortunately I had to stop because due to the intense training that we do, I wound up pinching a nerve in my left arm, which never properly healed. So I have can't reach my left arm. Oh god.
Maybe actually was actually Mario Kart stages, because you can actually play them.
Yeah, it means I don't have to play tour. I was trying to throw that behind. I'm just gonna hit my own bomb, I guess. That's fine. I like how we have the other Link now. I was in first.
Oh god, now you're
Alright, I'm gonna be right...
Alright.
You better run.
Something noises commence.
I'm surprised he actually muted.
Mario Kart Tour actually has some good courses. It's just the only problem is you have to play Mario Kart Tour.
I've never actually seen gameplay of Tour, so I have no idea how it plays.
It's literally you just kind of slide your finger left and right on your phone to steer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's also a gacha game, so some people just straight up be better than you.
Yep.
Like, speed-wise.
Gacha games are just pay to win, in my opinion.
They really are. Like, I spent like $10,000 and got lucky. There's one guy who actually spent like $10,000 on Diablo Immortal and can no longer matchmake with anyone.
Oh god.
I forgot to mute myself in Discord, so I hope nobody heard that.
We heard the thumping, but that was about it.
Okay.
Because I thought what you did was you took off your headset and then muted yourself. Because we heard the thumping, but then nothing else.
No, I muted myself in OBS, not Discord. Yeah, I can breathe now, though, so that's the important thing. What was that? Shut the fuck up. What was that about $10,000 in Diablo Immortal?
Some guy actually spent like $10,000 in Diablo Immortal. And then people think his power's too high.
You get what you fucking deserve. Well, yes, I'm pretty confident he is alone, but not for the reason you're talking about.
More than one.
Wait, where did that red shell go?
No bitches.
Wait, where did it go?
All the way around.
I like that one edit of the no bitches meme where he's edited to look like fucking Dr. Neocortex from Crash Bandicoot, and it just says, "No crystals." Oh, that looked like I need to see Megamind. I actually haven't seen it. Okay, you know, I should have saved that. I didn't see the blue shell. I really need to see Megamind. Also, Sorrow, I didn't say anything because I was getting ready to leave stream for a moment. I thought we talked about this. You're not supposed to self-promote, even when you're letting me know something like that. Not through stream itself, hon. You gotta stop doing that. Simki, I don't think I've actually said it before, but Sorrow is my girlfriend. Okay. I just wanted to clear that up. Oh, I'm not in first. Okay, I thought I was.
I wish it was easier to do stuff, GameCube stuff online.
Wish it was easier to what?
Do GameCube stuff online.
Doesn't Dolphin have netplay?
I think Dolphin has netplay. Actually playing on GameCube online is fucking annoying.
Ah.
One, the adapter that you need for the Ethernet adapter is $150. That's rare because no one bought it. And then you also need a US copy of Mario Kart Double Dash or any of the other online games, which are also exceedingly expensive.
Double Dash had online?
Yeah, it did.
I don't even think I've ever seen it in the options.
You need to have the Ethernet adapter installed.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like how Zeno and I said the exact same thing twice in a row.
Yep.
But yeah, it's, you can play 16-player online Mario Kart Double Dash if you have 4 GameCubes, 4 TVs, 16 GameCube controllers, and 4 Ethernet adapters, as well as 4 copies of the game for some option.
Now that is what I call a LAN party. I know Kirby Air Ride has LAN connectivity.
Crystal Chronicles multiplayer on crack.
Fun fact, Crystal Chronicles is my favorite Final Fantasy.
Crystal Chronicles. I bought the Switch version, but I was so disappointed that I didn't love the GameCube version.
I actually liked the Switch version because it was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact
I like the Switch version better, but I like the music better. It just, the original soundtrack sound, especially the main theme sound of the game.
The fucking Mushroom Forest intro lives rent-free in my mind.
I think the, I guess the
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I loved the remake. I'm like, Zeno and I are in a minority because all we wanted was Crystal Chronicles in HD. We didn't care about anything else. We just wanted the game again. I really need to finish it because I never got around to doing that.
probably a shame just the Crystal Chronicles coming out on DS only.
Well, no, there was the Crystal Bearers on Wii.
Which was essentially just the DS game from what I remember.
No, not Crystal Bearers.
Oh.
Crystal Bearers was hyped up as a brand new Final Fantasy spin-off on Wii. It was going to, like, revitalize the Crystal Chronicles series and finally bring it back to glory. And then it came out and essentially erased itself from discussions.
Oh,
It is supposed to be one of the worst Wii RPGs from the time it came out. Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really bad.
that's a pretty high bar to hit for the worst, considering how bad a lot of the Wii games are.
Oh yeah, like it was, from what I've heard, such a monumental disappointment. And I don't know why that just reminded me, but I think the third birthday came out around the same time on Wii, or PSP. I don't know what the fuck Square Enix was smoking in that time period, but they put out a lot of stinkers.
I was trying to find the Wii has one of the best game libraries, but also one of the absolute worst game libraries.
Yeah, like, a good Wii game is better than some of the best Xbox 360 and PS3 games. But a bad Wii game is like one of the worst fucking things you'll ever play in your entire life.
Yeah, like the Wii is just home to some of the most god-awful games ever released. Like M&M's Racing, Gingerbread Man, everything from that company that made Gingerbread Man.
Oh my god.
Sorry, what was that first one?
M&M's Racing. You didn't know about that?
No.
I'm going hyperspeed. I'm going hyperspeed.
God. Oh, don't tell me he cuts off his own audio clips. Oh my god. Have you seen any gameplay of Mega Man X7? Burn to the ground, burn, burn, burn to the ground, burn, burn to the ground, burn to the burn, 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 burn to the ground, burn. That is actually what it sounds like in game.
I'm sure no one's like that game.
Did not like
That,
that.
that's not even the worst part. X is so whiny about violence in that game.
It's like whiny bitch now.
He was a badass for 6 games in a row and then suddenly became a whiny bitch. And then was back to normal in Mega Man X8, which I've heard is actually very good. I have both Mega Man X Legacy collections on Switch, and I remember the Nintendo Life review basically said that Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2 is such a hard sell because there's really only one game worth playing, and it's X8.
Yeah, but
Oh god, what was the GameCube RPG?
Command Mission.
Man, that game is actually surprisingly
it's a shout out for Mega Man.
I have that on 3DS. That is weird. But Mega Man X Command Mission is yet another game from the PS2 and GameCube era. Excuse me, that was a shameless copy of Final Fantasy X. But I actually like it. Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is another one. It is a shameless clone of Final Fantasy X. And it's actually more of a clone than Command Mission. But it's actually really good.
For some reason, most of those Lord of the Rings games are drawing.
Well, I was a bit. I'm getting hit by everything. I never played that one.
Yeah.
I like Two Towers and Return of the King from the GameCube era. They're not great games, but I like them.
shout out to how far we got in Return of the King as a kid, and now we can't even get past the first fucking level.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we were smoking as kids, but we tried to play Return of the King since it is the better game. Within the past like year, and we couldn't even get past the first fucking level. We nearly beat the game as kids.
I don't understand how we got so far as kids,
Drugs.
but now it's like the first level and we can't even get near the boss in the first level. We just get absolutely wrecked halfway through it.
Alright. Yeah, for more? Alright.
I have to bug out because I need to go cover up the birds.
Alright, then I'll just
So,
wait here.
we'll be back in a moment.
The Fellowship of the Ring game. I don't think I played that one. I think that one is not one of the good ones.
Yeah, pretty sure that one.
Did you ever play The Hobbit on GameCube?
I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It is a game.
Yeah, it's not good. it's very broken.
Like the speed run of that game is mostly just skipping literally every piece of gameplay.
I mean, fair. Because the alternative is actually playing the game. God, I actually owned it at one point. If I had known I was going to be a streamer, I would have kept it to showcase that at some point, because it's not good.
Yeah, it's not expensive if you get a GameCube copy.
Which is funny, because GameCube copies are usually the most expensive.
Yeah, they're usually the expensive ones.
Yeah, well, the whole reason I own Beyond Good and Evil on Xbox instead of GameCube is because the GameCube version is $100, where the Xbox version was only $10. I wanted it on GameCube because everyone says the GameCube version is the best version, but I wasn't able to get it.
Yeah, even over the 360 version.
Have you played Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo?
Nah, but I've heard good things about that game.
Yeah, it's kind of a Ratchet and Clank clone, but it's actually really good.
Didn't expect Wallace and Gromit and Ratchet and Clank clone to ever be in the same sentence.
Yeah, well, it's in a third-person action platformer where Gromit has a porridge gun. And you can get other tools. It's actually really good. I never beat it as a kid because I got stuck in the mine level. But considering that it is a licensed tie-in to a relatively unknown British cartoon,
Yeah,
I mean,
well, especially at the time.
Especially at the time, yeah. It's actually surprisingly good. And I adore Wallace and Gromit. And Peter Sellers' death was really hard on me because I grew up with Wallace and Gromit. I've seen all the shorts. I watched the movie. I own 2 of the games because I own the Telltale series too. And
Serious, what?
there was a Telltale series. You can't get it anymore because they lost the rights. It was delisted around the same time as the Strong Bad game.
Yeah, okay, I'm back.
We were talking about Wallace and Gromit games.
Yeah.
If I can get it working... I'm starting a new race, by the way. If I can get it working on Linux, I actually would not mind streaming the Wallace and Gromit Telltale game because I have been wanting to play it. And since you can no longer buy it, having a streamed version of it would be pretty, handy. Because you literally can't get it anymore.
Yeah. The inevitable end for pretty much any licensed game is to be removed from existence.
Did you know there was a Happy Tree Friends game?
Oh, I did not actually.
I own it. It's also on Steam and was delisted. It's not very good. You kind of guide the Happy Tree Friends through a bunch of essentially torture chambers, and you have to keep them alive.
It's understandable that it's not good.
Yeah. I actually unironically like Happy Tree Friends, but I don't think it's good. I just am intrigued by violent and grotesque media. It's weird. I don't understand it.
Crash licensed games would be another fun straight idea.
What was that?
Crash licensed games would be another fun straight idea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I can find cheap ones for a variety of consoles, that'll just give me content for years.
Yeah. You're gonna get some of the fun games, like the Wii especially, but even PS4, 360, NES, the bad ones.
There is a streamer I follow named Goobers515 who used to do shitty game streams with another streamer named Domestic Dan. And that is how I found out that there was a Sopranos game where you don't even get to play as any member of the Sopranos family. You play as a friend or something. Something like that, yeah. That's also how I found out there was a missed port to the CDI.
No, the earlier ports on it for some reason in there.
And that's also how I've watched my first ever gameplay of Wheel of Fortune on NES. And I really gotta ask, why would you want to play Wheel of Fortune on your NES? What is the point?
For a while, one of my friends was sent me a copy of Wheel of Fortune on 64.
One other licensed game on N64 I could stream is, I don't own it, but I forget the full name, but it was a Rugrats game. It's supposed to be one of the worst N64 games. Carmageddon 64 is an oddity as well, because it was deemed too violent for the console, so they replaced all the humans with zombies, which is somehow supposed to be less violent. Okay, at least I didn't get hit by this. There's another start. I kind of smack. Oh my god, the bomb. Oh, I'm a ghost. That's right.
Still, if only Pepsi Man was cheaper.
Pepsi Man.
It's like a $200 game.
Isn't it actually supposed to be good?
Yeah, it's actually kind of okay. It's one of the first, like, endless runners.
I actually know an endless runner that's earlier than that.
Really?
Metro Cross. It's a Namco game. It actually recently came to Switch. I love it. It's really fun. It got a medley in Smash for the Pac-Man stage.
I'd like to point out, Discord cut out for you. So what I heard was, it got a medley in the Pac state.
Okay. Discord just wants to do that, I guess.
I don't know if it's Discord that's been doing it recently, or if it's my headphones. I'm not sure. I think it's just straight up Discord.
I think it's your headphones.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, Spike isn't cutting out.
Discord is showing you as right now. Whenever that happens, it does show you right now.
Your face is cut.
Yeah, so that's the PS1 version.
I forgot there was a PS1 version. There's an Xbox version of Myst 3.
The PS1 version of them is on 5 discs.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Whenever you get more of the islands, it's like, please change the disc.
So each island is a different disc.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad game. They could have done it in a worse way.
The problem is, though, is the game is fucking horribly unstable, so sometimes when you're loading on screens, it crashes.
I forget which version. I think it's the Xbox version.
It is.
Actually reboots the Xbox during some loading screens because of a memory leak.
There are only 2 versions.
Stuck in the loading screen for very long. Because it's actually rebooting the Xbox without knowing.
There are only 2 versions of Morrowind, PC and Xbox.
Another game that does that, but like the game also does that because of memory leak, but it's on PC, so it just turns off the game and turns it back on every time it's loading.
One of the Wing Commander games, I don't know which one, when you exit the game, it crashes, and since they couldn't figure out how to fix the bug before it was set to ship, they just changed the error log to read "Thank you for playing."
Sonic 3D Blast. That game's Secret Level Select, when you jiggle the cartridge around, that's actually what happens
Okay.
the devs didn't actually have enough time to completely stabilize the game, so to get through Sega's approval process, they did that. So whenever it crashed, they were basically like, "You found the cool secret we added into the game."
Okay, that's weird.
Speaking of memory leaks, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3 both have memory leak issues, and neither one has been patched.
God,
So the
games
game
just
will
being
crash randomly.
Games being fucky is just always funny to me.
Man, I wonder what stage we're gonna get.
I hope it's Sky High Sunday.
I think it's yeah, it's the PS Vita version of Borderlands 2 that has an extremely bad memory leak.
Oh god.
It's you can play the game for 2 hours and then it crashes.
Oh god.
Guaranteed. There's nothing
like,
you can do to stop the game from crashing.
With Pandora's Tower on Wii, if you get to the 11th tower in the game, what's called the Blacklight Griffin, it's two different towers, Dawn Tower, Dusk Tower. One is light themed, one is dark, or darkness themed. When in the menu for picking which tower you're going to go to, if you don't wait more than 13 seconds, I think it was 13 from what I counted, if you select the Blacklight Barbican Tower, the game will crash, guaranteed. And I actually figured out exactly why it does that. For some ungodly reason, when you open up that menu to choose where you want to fast travel to, it actually loads in the first room for each of those towers, which are very large and very detailed rooms. So it takes about a second to a second and a half to load each room, and it loads them in order. So if you don't wait for whatever tower you want to go in, it'll just fucking crash the game. It's so weird. I don't know. It's a fantastic game though, but god is it weird when that happens.
Borderlands Vita just has a lot of issues already anyways because it's Borderlands 2 on the PS Vita.
Oh god.
And they, have you two played Borderlands 2 before?
I have. Yeah, not on
I played
Vita.
on PC.
I once found an invisible bone shredder SMG for some reason.
What the fuck?
The only thing visible was hollow on sight.
Why?
I have no idea why that happened. Oh god, this is going to put me horribly behind. Sometimes models load in with the wrong size.
What?
So there's just a gargantuan teddy bear, and at one point Foxy was tiny.
Oh my god.
Krieg is basically just unplayable because of PS Vita joysticks.
That's
The
unfortunate.
fact that only 2 of the 4 main DLCs were released with no headphones.
Okay.
They only got Scarlet Pirate's Keep and Torn.
What happened to the others?
They just stopped releasing them because the game was doing so poorly.
Oh god.
And the Vita didn't have and most people's Vita didn't have enough storage space to hold all of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the fucking memory cards of the Vita are stupidly expensive.
Yeah, my 8GB PS Vita memory card I had to buy for my PS TV was $40.
For 8 gig.
Yeah.
Oh,
64 gigs is $120.
There are people on Amazon who sell official Vita memory cards for way below what they're worth because they buy official ones, scratch off the Sony logo, and then resell it as a fake third party. It's literally an
really
official one. They
weird.
just scratch off the logo.
That's really weird. Why would you do that?
Would you really want to spend like $100 for a 64 gig one? When you can spend 30 on the quote-unquote third-party one? I meant to say first party the first time. I don't know what I actually said.
considering you already have to buy the $100 memory card. Just scratch the logo off of it.
I don't know, man. People are crazy.
Well, they know there isn't really already Vita memory cards, so I guess it'd be pretty easy to find.
There are some that I think just let you use a SD card in them, but I think they also require custom home or
Yeah, you
custom
can
firmware.
crack the Vita for use them.
It's not like you can really
And
beat
knowing the
games.
Vita, it's easy enough to crack it. You just drop it from ankle height and it'll fucking shatter.
This thing's so fragile.
Yeah,
I love the
I would
PSP,
read
by the way. I actually really loved the PSP.
Oh, the PS Vita, but it has a lot of issues.
It has Gravity Rush, though.
Yep.
Cat Gravity Rush, my beloved.
I have a PS TV. Have one of those?
I don't have one, but I know what it is.
My parents got me for Christmas at one point. This brand new one.
Yeah, I got a Vita fairly late. I got my Vita in like 2020. I just decided I wanted a Vita. I got a nice deal though, because for like $200 I got a Vita with a charging cable, a carry case, a game card case, and 6 games.
Damn. Pretty good.
Yeah, I was really happy with it.
Especially because Vita games are expensive as hell.
Yeah, it came with Mon Nation Racers, Little Big Planets, Wipeout, Omega Collection. No, not Omega Collection. No, 2048. I think.
2030 is good.
Mortal Kombat 9, Asphalt 9 Legends. I think. Or was it Asphalt Injection?
It should be Injection.
Yeah, I think it was Injection. And I think that's it.
A lot of games for Vita for that price.
Yeah,
Mine
I
was
ended,
Japanese ones, $200 complete in box.
I ended up. Oh damn! What game is that?
Oh no, my system itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up selling Mon Nation Racers and Mortal Kombat, but then I bought Gravity Rush, Odin Sphere, and Tearaway.
Nice. Tearaway's great.
I need to play more of it.
I need to get it because I have the PS4 version.
So do I. I got it for free, and then I decided to get it on Vita. You guys want to do one more and then call it quits there?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Shout out to me finding a copy of the Odin Sphere Le Thracier collector's edition at a secondhand store for like $50. So I got the game, the steelbook, the T-shirt, like all that shit.
That's awesome. I have some good stuff at thrift stores. I have I got a original launch version of Ocarina of Time in 64 for $10 at the thrift store.
The launch version for $10.
Yeah.
Why did you pick
Jesus.
Neo Bowser City?
Oh, I hate that track. Oh, that track sucks.
I've also gotten a brand new Game Boy camera for $70.
Brand new Game Boy camera. Why? I mean, it's a nice novelty, I guess.
Yeah. Also brand new for $70 when brand new ones usually go for $400.
That is a steal.
Yeah.
The first store had it originally for $150, but I had a coupon and they were having a deal on the specific tech stuff.
Well, I think I'm about to... Okay, never mind. I thought I was going to disconnect. Did I seriously get double coins?
Oh, I've had that happen.
I hate the phone.
These are nice little speakers, but that's better.
I got double coins again. What the fuck?
That item box took quite some time to get fucking
Alright, and now it's... Oh, yeah, it was doing that to me, and it gave me double coins twice in a row.
You just fucking teleported.
Oh, Neo Bowser said he's having some trouble online. Chosen this. I just watched the Link NPC careen into a wall and then teleport behind me.
I just got double coins as well, by the way.
And I got it again. Is this track just bugged?
I think it might be.
Because the connection was fine before. Well, now my items seem to be fine. What is going on here?
I'm getting annihilated. The baby Mario just warped across the map.
Oh yeah, I've been watching Baby Mario in the minimap. He's been fucking glitching out this whole time. I didn't mean,
Slamming me into the wall.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, take that. Oh, I'm coming for you. Link, I'm coming for your ass. Come here.
You want that twinkle obliterated?
Item, please give me an item. Thank you, Jesus.
Remember, we can blame Simkey for this.
Yes, you can.
Link used a fucking mushroom and T-boned me and launched me off the side.
Oh yeah, the AI doesn't fucking care if you're in their way at all. They will just plow right through you. They do not give a shit.
My hard AI is so much fun because they just don't give a fuck.
You're in my way. That's a problem.
It's like when Zeno and I were playing Splatoon 3's demo earlier. I kind of main the Splat Roller. And I know the other players couldn't hear me, but I kept saying, you can spray me all you want. I am just going to roll over you. I have a single brain cell, and all it wants to do is roll.
Roller mains just share a single brain cell, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Really?
I always liked the Aerospray, but I really like how the bow plays in Splatoon 3. It's so much fun.
My Splatoon 2 main weapon is the Onion Zapper.
I actually made the Zapper as well for the armor.
That was fun.
Onion Zap.
I used it for a while until I got, I think the Aerospray... AG? I forget which one I used.
I used the gray version, but I forget what it had.
Silver one?
Yeah, lock on missiles.
It had
I think I used the silver one.
super armor.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I used it, because it was very useful.
Super armor's good.
I remember in Splatoon 1, the crack-on Splat Roller was fucking busted because of the cracking ability. And I distinctly remember a moment where I used the Kraken ability and some little rinky-dink dick shitter with an octobrush came out of the ink and mashed the fucking ZR button at an ungodly speed and prevented me from touching him while I was invincible. And then he killed me.
With octobrush things.
God himself is a right to stop you.
Yeah, I'm like forever bitter about that because I was invincible and he still killed me because I couldn't touch him because he was pressing the button at like 300 miles per hour.
Splatoon 1, I actually played Splatoon 1 some online because there's still a small community there.
Really?
Yeah.
There's still
You can
some
still
people
play it
playing them online.
Mainly got popular with the campaign. Like, yeah, I went online and went, oh shit, there's people here. Hackers too, all the hackers are from this left. Just a really, really dedicated people.
Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
No!
Did you fall in between the mushrooms? That is not the direction I drifted. Game, that is not the direction I drifted.
Oh no.
I was holding left
Or you
and
cross the finish line
Inkling just
online.
thought, okay, right.
Like how before you finish the race in online on this, it like removes your placement. It's like, what? Why don't you just let me see it for the rest of the time?
I hate when I'm in first and then it goes away. I'm like, yeah, I'm in first, and it's a second.
Oh, I know you're in second.
Pass me at the last second. Can you please just pick Calamari Desert, you piece of shit? Okay.
Okay.
It was so close to landing on Coconut Mall.
Yeah, it was.
I love what they did to this track. I love Mario Kart 64 because it's very nostalgic to me, but the thing is, I also don't like Mario Kart 64 because it's a fucking terrible game.
Yeah. You know what? I just kind of hate it, but for some reason I'm really fucking good at Mario Kart Super Circuit specifically.
Super Circuit's good.
Back when I
It's
used
good, but I can never play it with anyone because I'm the only person who has a copy.
Oh, no, the...
Well, I don't know the game, but the only person who plays a copy of Super Circuit.
back when I used to actually play Super Circuit, I forget which one of the tracks it was. It was one of the Bowser Castle tracks. But I could actually play it completely blind. I had the track memorized so well that I actually could get first completely blind. But that was the only track I could do it with. It was just that one fucking track.
The first track, Peach Circuit, I've decided to try to get my time down on that really far. I got to have my laps down for 1 minute.
Jesus.
God damn.
Around that.
Okay, I'd like to point out that on that fucking ramp, you literally just like instant transmission, like right in front of me.
Oh, I love what they did with this track. You can actually play that.
Okay, watch out for the train. If you hit it with a mega horn, it will land on you.
Yeah, and like, I grew up with Mario Kart 64, so I've like played it all my life. The thing is, I played it recently, and it's actually really, really frustrating.
Yeah, all I heard was, yeah, I played it That was all I heard.
Spike? Good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I think you might need to tweak your Discord audio settings to like lower the amount of volume you need in order to activate the mic.
Yeah.
That and or turn off the background noise cancellation.
Turn off background noise cancellation.
Well, that or lowering the initial amount of volume you need in order to activate the mic. Because I had to do that, and I had to mess with the audio settings before the first stream that I joined, actually.
I will have to mess with that at a later point, because I don't have any time right now.
Oh wow, I completely messed up that timing.
I got someone behind me. How am I One of the local game stores around where I live actually has a brand new copy of Jack Bros for the Virtual Boy.
The first Shin Megami Tensei game to come out in the US, and it was a fucking spin-off for the Virtual Boy.
And it's good, actually. But, like, stock-wise, I don't know, it's not the first. Virtual Boy has, like, 2 good games. 3, maybe.
Wario Land is one of them. It's actually supposed to be, like, really, really good for no reason.
Oh, no, yet. I'd recommend emulating Wario Land with the black and white model.
I had a Virtual Boy emulator on my Windows machine, but I'm on Linux now, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah, they're kind of good ones. Besides Jack Bros is Mario Bros.
You mean Mario Clash?
Oh, was it Mario Clash?
I believe that's what it's called on Virtual Boy.
Whichever one the sequel to the original Mario Bros was.
I believe that's Mario Clash.
How many games does the Virtual Boy?
Only about a dozen, I
US
think.
is 19. In Japan and New Zealand.
Actually, not that big of a difference.
Especially because the US got most of Japan's games. The US exclusives are trash. You want to move Battle World?
Yeah.
That has a tie-in game on the Virtual Boy for some reason.
There was supposed to be an F-Zero game, like a spin-off on the Virtual Boy. The guy who...
Oh god, that would be painful.
Huh?
Oh god, that would be painful.
Yeah, the guy who localized the original F-Zero actually spoke about his time at Nintendo. He localized the F-Zero spin-off on the Virtual Boy that never came out, and he was able to describe it in detail because he was one of the testers for the game on the Virtual Boy, and they strapped something to his face to keep his eyelids open while he was wearing the Virtual Boy headset, so they could test what it would do to his eyes. He literally described it as that sequence from A Clockwork Orange.
Fucking like, fucking like FBI experiment over here.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
The game never came out, probably for good reason, but he insists that it was real. People thought it was a hoax for the longest time.
F-Zero Virtual Boy is real. It's not an FBI experiment.
Okay, so I think I'm going to end it there. Alright.
There you go.
It was fun.
Thank you guys for joining. I'll
Yeah.
talk to both of you and Dennis later, probably later tonight or tomorrow, and see if maybe we can do Clubhouse games next week. I don't want to schedule anything right now because classes are starting up, so I don't know what's going to happen next week. But
Past games would be fun to play. I haven't actually played it online with anyone either.
alright, so I'm going to go find a raid target.
Time
And
to break into someone's stream.
Yep. I'm also going to leave the Discord call now, so.
Alright. Yeah,
There
see
you
you later for maybe Clubhouse games.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.
Alright, I am not muted on stream though, so I can still find someone who's live. I guess it'll be Kisaka again. She's playing Slime Rancher. So once again, I'll be back tomorrow with Twilight Princess, and then we'll be finishing the game on Monday. Catch y'all on the flip side.